Welcome back to Dead Good Book Reviews. I'm Judith and you're watching another What I'm Reading Right Now video here on the channel. This is the series where I talk about what I have been reading, what I'm currently reading, and what I shall be reading next. And I'm sorry if you can hear a squeaky dog toy in the background. It is the 10th of July when I'm filming this. It is a Wednesday. I have lost my routine a little bit, but I think had I talked to you on Monday, I would have not read any books at all, whereas now I can tell you about 3 things I finished, so let's get into it. First up, I finished A Far Wilder Magic by Alison Saft. I don't know where the book has gone, as ever, it is lost in the void that is my house. I liked this a lot. I'd read it before. It is a fairly kind of, I don't want to say basic, fairly standard YA romance in which we have a girl who is sort of sheltered. She's living at home waiting for her mother to return from some nebulous place that she has gone to, and she decides she wants to enter a hunt for a magical fox because it will mean good things for her. And in the meantime we have a boy who is trying to become an alchemist's apprentice, but he keeps failing out of being an alchemist's apprentice, so he goes to see if her mother will let him be her apprentice. They end up entering the hunt together. The book goes on from there. I like this. I don't think it's anything necessarily to write home about. I think it's very nice. It's very soft. I will think more on it. I think it's got some interesting side themes and ideas. I just don't know if they ever get explored enough to make it feel different and unique as a book. We'll come on to it when I eventually make that video. After that, I reread Gallant by V.E. Schwab, which I hadn't read since it originally first came out. I liked it more on a reread. With a bit more distance, I liked it more. When I originally read it, I was kind of like, that was fine. Why did it need to be? It was sort of another book in a time where V.E. Schwab was publishing some stuff that felt very different. Like, it was kind of around the time of Addie LaRue, and Addie LaRue was so amazing, for me at least. So I still kind of feel that about this book. I think it is not her strongest work. I would put it kind of at the end of the spectrum with kind of the Near Witch and maybe the archived, what are they called? The Dark Vault is the bind-up, I think. That's not to say this is a bad book. V. Schwab is a very good writer if you like her style of writing. There's some interesting ideas in this. We have a girl who is sort of rescued, sort of summoned from the terrible school she's living in, and goes to a house that is reportedly the house that her mother lived in, but her mother always warned her to stay away from Gallant, the house. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very kind of, V. Schwab is probably the least helpful but most recognizable way to describe it. If you know what I mean, you'll know what I mean. And I think this edition is it's just beautiful. It's got some really gorgeous artwork in it. I know V. Schwab has swapped over to Tor in the UK now, but her sprayed edges just beautiful. Titan did a really good job with that. And the last thing I finished was my listen to The Clockwork Boys by T. Kingfisher for my T. Kingfisher read-along. This is a very good book. I think it ends very abruptly. If you are planning on reading it, have Wonder Engine on deck to start immediately, because they do feel more like a book that has been chopped in two than 2 books that are distinct from one another. It's the story of a group of criminals who are sort of bound together to do a mission that they will probably not succeed in, to try and help with a war effort. And it's very kind of Suicide Squad in that way, but Suicide Squad is not a great film, and this is a great book. I really enjoy the pairing. If you've liked her other books in this universe, so the Saint of Steel series, the one with the sword that I read a couple of weeks ago that's already gone from my brain, if you like those, you'll like this. It's very similar, that kind of level of romance, that level of horror and horrifying things and intrigue. Yes. Brings us neatly into what I'm currently reading, because I am currently reading The Wonder Engine. I am, I think, a third of the way through that? 33%, there you go, yes, I am. And I'm enjoying it. As I say, I think it follows on very abruptly from the end of Clockwork Boys, so I'm surprised that they haven't been bound up into one just for the sake of ease. But I'm enjoying it. I will report back when I've done. Shards of Earth is still ongoing. I've not listened to a second more of it, but I'd like to tell you that it is still ongoing because it is. I'm also reading The Sky on Fire by Jen Lyons, which comes out this week, so I'm a little bit late still. But I have read 10% of it, maybe 12%, and I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely a book that drops you in at the deep end with the world building, and you just have to kind of hit the ground running. That's a mixed metaphor, but you have to just keep going with it. I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but I remember feeling that way with Chorus of Dragons, and this is in some ways simpler than Chorus of Dragons because there aren't the meta layers to it, so I'm gonna enjoy it. I've just got to put some time in and get to reading. I'm also reading Midnight Never Come by Mari Brennan. This is the first book in the Onyx Court series, and that one I'm even less far through. I think I've read like maybe 2 chapters, and I don't have much to report on that yet, beyond it being sort of a historical fantasy. And we'll see where we go with it. Still to read. If I got everything I wanted to get read. Given that it's already Wednesday, I don't know if I'm even going to finish all those things I just told you about. But For the sake of completeness, still on my list, Vicious by V.E. Schwab, which I've been wanting to reread for ages. I would love to be able to read it this week. I don't think it's going to happen. The second Onyx Court book. This is on the list because I thought I would read one a week. That was back when Optimistic Judith thought I was reading more than 3 books a week at the moment. Beast's Heart by Leif Shawcross. This is another overbooked read. And then my new release for this week, which I'm not going to get to because I'm still reading the new release from last week, is Queen Bee by Juno Dawson, which I am excited to read. It just might happen next week or the week after. The only saving grace to all of this is that I have added no new books to my TBR this week because frankly I don't think I have any justification in doing so. I think I've got to stick with what I've got and try and read down my ever-growing weekly TBR just a little bit before I jump into anything more extreme. But there are 2 new releases that are coming out around about when this video is coming out that I would like to tell you about. Sky on Fire is one of them. If you are excited for it, I believe it is now out. Sweetheart, I can't, not right now. You want to come be in the video? Okay, come here. If you're wanting to read that, it is out now. It's a dragon book. I'm excited to tell you more about it when I've read it. And the other book that's coming out, I believe on the 15th, is Unexploded Remnants. That is the book that I read a couple of weeks ago that's about AI and the last human and a chase sequence and AI and humanity and war and all sorts of things like that. So if that's your kind of sci-fi, that is out not quite by the time of watching this, but very soon. If you're interested. Other things I have been up to, and the reason I have not been reading so much, we ran a series of unfortunate events inspired, legally distinct from and inspired by LARP event recently, which is kind of like a big murder mystery, but more extreme. We had such a good time. It was a really fun adventure. But yeah, there was a lot to get done for that, and I wasn't even running the thing. I was just attending and helping out. There is a dog just here. Know that there is a dog. Yes, so that went very well. But there's not much reading happening, and there wasn't that much happening before, let's be perfectly honest. So I'm on catch-up mode, but I'm gonna get there, because this weekend could be a reading weekend, very easily, so we'll see how we go. What have you been reading? What have you been up to? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're down there commenting, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. It makes me and Luna feel loved and appreciated. You can also come hang out on Discord, where we have chill chats about books. I'd like to say an enormous thank you to all the ghosts who haunt me over on Patreon. They support the channel and in return get early access to videos, bonus content, live streams, and more. If you'd like to join their number, that's linked below as well. Thank you so much to you for watching. That's all from me, and I will see you in the next one. It's gonna be some bloopers now. Welcome back to Dead Good Book Reviews. I'm Judith, and you're watching another What I'm Reading Right Now video here on the channel. Absolutely not. It's not Luna time. Is the gain on this just turned all the way down? I'm so sorry if this has been so quiet this whole time. I don't know. If you want me to move the pillow, I can move the pillow. It feels like the pillow's giving you problems. Do you want me to move it? No? Okay, we'll just finish the video and then... Okay.